Hey up everybody and welcome back to the Audio Cycling YouTube channel, where today, because it is the first rest day of the Giro d'Italia, I thought I would take a look at my team and see how I'm doing. I haven't actually looked because I don't think it's going particularly well. This is going to be just as a surprise for me as it is for you. We are within the top 50%, which isn't great, but there's a couple of things which I want to kind of dive into. Obviously, the good news about this team is that we do have Pogacar and Milan, who is like the dominant GC rider and the dominant sprinter, so that's good to see. O'Connor didn't do great on stage 2, so in theory he could have more like 500 points, I'd say, or a little bit more. But hopefully going into this final, well, not final week, but second and third week, he'll get a few more GC points, so he's finally kind of getting off the mark. But we got unlucky with Simon Carr. He DNS'd stage 3 or something like that, which is really annoying when you think about all the other 6 credit riders I could have gone with. And the Paddock Pentas haven't done much, although Valentin did look good the other day up Platidetivo, so I'm feeling quite confident about him doing something in some breakaways. And also Decathlon are leading the Team GC at the moment, so each one of these riders is picking up 8 assist points a day, which is quite tasty. And then, yeah, Piffy's been a big disappointment, man, to be honest with you. I know he, like the other day, what was it, stage 8? I think it was, the one which Coy won. Man, yeah, I think he had a mechanical that really would have been, he could have got a top 5 there. He's just been not great, especially when you consider the other 8 credit riders I could have picked. We'll go and look at those in a second, but just the other 2 riders, Juanpe was good on Europa, but then dropped the other day, so he should hopefully be going into the breakaway and getting some points that way. I think that's going to be a much better way for him to get points, and I think it's almost quite a good thing in a way that he's dropped out of GC now. And then Van Zevenon also dropped out of GC after a pretty decent first 2 days, so hopefully he can get in some breakaways as well, like Alaphilippe has been doing. It's annoying because I could have gone with Schachmann instead. Let's take a look at the riders' standings actually, firstly, before we look at who I could have gone with instead. Obviously, Pogacar and Milan, so I've got both of those. Which is kind of a weird thing, is that my team isn't doing great, but we do have 2 of the big scorers, so it's quite fine margins, I think, at the moment. I think the strategy for this week has been to go with a 2-sprinter strategy, I guess you could say, with Milan and then either Coy, Malir or Groves, but I don't think in the long run that's going to be the successful strategy. There's Schachmann. I could have gone with him over Van Zevenont, which would have got me almost like double the points. Bodin, oh my word, this guy is just doing insane. Like, he's going to be, he could get like 600 points at least, I'd say. But actually, the first rider to hit 100 points per credit was Jonathan Navarez in the first week of racing. It's just incredible. Only 3.4% selected. I never considered selecting him, so chapeau if you did. Won the opening stage, then he was like 5th place on the one which Pelayo Sanchez won, and then he almost won the other day with Olav Coy winning. He was shuffled down to 11th. So yeah, Jonathan Navarez is the best points per credit rider at the moment, as it turns out. And then yeah, everyone, people like, Tiberi's and Schachmann's, O'Connor's, Itebrooks, Arensman's coming back into it, Rubio, these are all the GC riders who I could have gone with instead, but they're all kind of building up slowly and surely. I mean, Stora I could have gone with instead of Piffy. This would have been a better option because he's going to get loads more GC points and stage points, I think, than Piffy. So in the long run, I should have considered going with somebody else, but Piffy was just too hard for me to resist. I mean, yeah. So in terms of the all-rounders, the points, we've got Pogacar, G, Tiberi, Schachmann, and then it kind of drops off. Caruso not doing great. Bardet, that's a tough one for 25% of people to be having at the moment. So yeah, the all-rounders kind of figuring out how I roughly expected them to. Hopefully Mauri can rise up a little bit. Climbers, Danny Martinez doing incredibly well. I never really considered picking him, so fair play. I could have saved 4 credits and then put those into another 12 credit rider. Like, I could have gone with Martinez and Itebrooks over O'Connor and Piffy, so maybe I should have done that instead. But O'Connor will come back, I'm certain of that. And yeah, a lot of the climbers are still yet to really get off the mark big time because there's not been that many breakaways. Sprinters, Milan's doing best, Coy, Malir and Groves. Yeah, like Piffy's way down here. I really thought that he would be at least getting like, you know, where Milano is at least at this point in the race, so that's disappointing. And then the unclassifieds, Navarez is doing better than Bodar, so really the unclassifieds haven't got off the ground either, again because not a lot of breakaways have gone, so we're going to see that probably shift in this second week. But yeah, in terms of the 6 credit riders, I could have gone with, you know, Fortunato, for example. He was in my team for a lot of the time, but I swapped him out for Aurelian Padapentula. That was a kick in the teeth. Could have gone with somebody safe like Sheffield, actually, instead of Simon Carr. That might have been a more sensible option as well. Or maybe I could have gone with like Quentin Hermans, because he's one of the only people who can like semi-climb on Alpecin's team. Or Mikkel Bjerg, actually. I was, you know, talking about him an awful lot as well. So maybe I should have just been a bit safer with some of my picks. But you know what? That's just the benefit of hindsight. I'm expecting in the second week we've got a lot more stages which are going to be kind of mountainous, hopefully breakaways if you hopefully allow them to go. And I do expect that hopefully the guys like Van Savenont, the Padapentulas and Juanpe can get in the breakaway and get me some good points, and hopefully O'Connor can really start ticking up towards that 1,000 point mark by the end of the second week. So let me know what you're thinking in the comment section. How is your team doing, and also how do you see your team doing in the next week of racing? Because obviously at the moment mine's on a bit of a slow burner, but we're going to build up into the race as it goes along. So let me know if you're in a similar category or not, or if you're just really flying high at the moment. I'd be interested to hear how you're all going in the comment section down below. I will do another one of these at the next rest day, but all that is left to say is to stay safe out there, and I will see you in the next video. Salut!